The gear yard sale of all yard sales spreads along the side of the highway. Each of the four of us volunteered to take some of the extra gear we had to carry on this adventure. Friends had scouted out the ice cave we hoped to reach earlier in the summer when they were high up on the mountain on the other side of the valley. From their vantage point, they felt there could be a need to do some technical climbing up to the ice cave. So harnesses, ropes, ice screws, climbing boots, etc. all had to go in the pack beyond an everyday photography and other non-photography gear. I volunteered to carry the rope. I estimate the weight of my pack to be around 40 pounds on this day. With heavy packs and light hearts, we head out on the trail. Wandering through the forest with snow-capped trees made the weight of our packs seem incredibly light. The pack trail we had experienced so far ends abruptly as we approach Cirque Lake. We would have to blaze a trail the remainder of the way. We each take turns punching the track across the lake. Although a full confession, Paul and Chris seem to do most of the trailblazing. After crossing the lake, we survey the climb up to the cave in front of us. We immediately noticed that the avalanches were falling all around the cave. After watching the behavior of the avalanches, we determined that none of them would remotely come close to the cave, so we decided it was safe to proceed. However, we would separate out should something happen. Paul proceeds to go first and make the track for the rest of us to follow. I was second, with Chris and Lizzie well behind me. Partway up, with my legs dying and the sweat pouring off me like a waterfall in June, I dropped the rope on the trail, hoping the lost weight would help me. I continue on. By this time, we had passed the main avalanche risk, so Chris proceeds to go ahead of me to help blaze the trail. I reached one point on the 600-foot ascent in knee-deep snow with snowshoes where no matter what I tried, the step I built to help me would always collapse. My emotions boil inside, and less than appropriate words start coming out one after the other. Chris, hearing this, decides it would be funny to throw snowballs at me to wind me up even more, although I am not sure it was possible at this stage. Lizzie, behind me, feels the need to video these shenanigans. I was utter oblivious to these events as I focused on getting up this small section. I was only told of these antics when we were down from the cave and on our way out. By this time, the only thing I could do was let out a big laugh that could be heard reverberating through the valley. To say the extraordinary effort to make it up and into this cave was worth it is an understatement. We immediately saw that the cave was a masterpiece. A massive ice wall curving up and over to an equally enormous rock wall with a frozen waterfall cascading down it. How could anything get more exciting than this? Also determined that the cave was much more active than the ones we had been in before. We watched where we went and quickly grabbed our shots. The trifecta story of an ice wall, a rock wall, and a frozen waterfall needed to be captured. Looking at the various angles, even with a wide angle, the only way to capture this shot was to lay on the pointy frozen ice that had fallen and point the camera up. This excited me even more as the angle was not your typical one. Trifecta was carved digitally from the icy walls on the side of Anguilla Peak in Banff National Park.